As snowmobilers, we always want just one more great ride. And you don't know if that ride you took today was going to be the last one. So at the end of the 2020 season, I really wanted one more ride, real bad. Home wasn't rideable. If you wanted to wear off a full set of carbides, then you could go out and try, but it wasn't that good. So we put together a trip up to the Algoma district to Northern Ontario, where riding lasts for like a month longer than everywhere else. I called up my buddy Tanner, who I've done a number of SnowTrax stories with. When I call him, he always seems to find a sick day or a holiday. He's always got another day for me. So
I've had the opportunity to go with Luke on several trips for SnowTrax TV, which is great. Makes me think that Luke doesn't have any other friends to invite, but
we jumped in the car and basically just headed straight north from where we live in Ontario.
with my day job, I've had a chance to work all over Northern Ontario, and I've seen the amount of awesome trails up north. So when Luke brought up the idea of me coming along on this trip and put on big miles, 400 plus in a couple of days, I was really, really excited.
The plan was to leave from Sault Ste. Marie, ride to Halfway Haven, and then from Halfway Haven to Wawa on the first day. And then day two was going to be a nice easy one from Wawa to Dubreuilville. So it was a pretty big trip to do in 2 days, but how else would I want to end my season with a 400-kilometer ride in arguably some of the best trails in Canada? Our first day consisted basically just of driving. It's about a 7-hour trip from where we live in Haliburton County to Sault Ste. Marie, where we were staying at the Fairfield right in the city of Sault Ste. Marie. But interestingly enough, the Fairfield Hotel, it also has a trailhead right out of the parking lot. Freezing rain in the morning before you wake up is probably better than rain, so we'll take it. But it definitely makes the morning routine a little bit less exciting, I guess. The interesting thing is, even with that kind of weather at night, the conditions were still perfect. I mean, it was like a sunny day. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
And I start looking around at my gear.
I forgot my nice winter boots hours away, so.
Oh no, I just forgot one of the most important things next to my gloves and helmet.
Well, he's not gonna hear the end of this, but I guess we're gonna have to go get him a set of boots, aren't we? Of all the things that you'd remember, you know, like kind of important, can't ride in running shoes when it's cold. So I forgave him quickly. There was no, you know. When it came time to choose sleds for this trip, I thought I would be like friend of the year and give Tanner the sled that we actually picked as the SnowTrax Real World Sled of the Year in 2020, the Polaris Indy XC 850 137, the Adventure. And I thought, I'll bring that for Tanner and give him the best possible sled for a ride. But I had ulterior motives. We'd just been delivered a 2021 MXZ Renegade XRS with the new X suspension, and I wanted to ride that. So I kind of won that one. So luckily, I know the Skidoo dealer in Sault Ste. Marie here. It's like one of the most impressive snowmobile dealers you'll ever see in your life. So I'm guessing they probably have some boots for sale. So we're gonna roll over there right now and make sure Tanner's Tootsies stay warm all day. That's the plan. I actually know the guys from North Shore BRP dealer in Sault Ste. Marie. And the last time I met them, they said, we built a new dealership. It's pretty impressive. It'd be great if you could come check it out. So I thought, well, this is perfect. I can go over and check out their dealership, say hi, get Tanner a pair of boots. I had no idea what North Shore was all about, man. This place is unreal. It's huge. There must be 150 vehicles inside, side-by-sides, ATVs, snowmobiles, watercraft, you name it. I have never seen a power sports dealer that looks like this before, ever. All the parts and accessories you can need.
Shiny.
Most importantly though, boots.
I've never seen a dealership so big and clean and wide open. It was almost like going into a mall, but full of sleds and ATVs.
Ooh.
While we were at the dealer, we met up with John Breckenridge and his wife Mary, and he is the president of the Sioux Trailblazers Snowmobile Club. which is a club that takes care of the Sault Ste. Marie region. But I mean, this guy's been riding up north his entire life. So I thought this is the perfect guy to guide us. His wife is an awesome rider. So they joined us for this ride and showed us around and made sure we didn't get lost.
When most groups contact me about what there is to ride here, I ask what they like to do or what they want to do. So up in this area, anywhere in this region, and there's lots of loop trails, you can day ride from any one of the locations. If you want to go off trail, there is some phenomenal terrain to go off trail. There's a little bit of everything. It's a mix of every type of riding that you want.
Whose sled's this?
Well, you know, since I film all of our shows myself, I just bring a spare. This is the camera sled.
My wife and myself are both running, she's running a 2018 XCR Polaris Switchback. I'm running a 2020 XCR Switchback, and I've had the chance to ride the Adventure here. I haven't had a chance yet to ride the Skidoo, but we'll work on that.
The trails when you immediately leave Sault Ste. Marie are, I would say, more similar to Southern Ontario where a lot of other people ride. They're pretty tight, they're twisty, they are impeccably maintained and groomed perfectly, but they're more bush type trails that are tighter. However, once you get to Searchmont, and then you continue towards Halfway Haven from Searchmont, that's where things change. That's where you get on the hydro line, the famous Northern Ontario hydro line.
I decided to take the boys for a ride right out to Lake Superior where they could actually drop onto Lake Superior and ride around. It intersects our trail to Searchmont, and it's a short ride from the intersection to where we went to Haviland Bay.
I'm like, man, that's a big lake, like a really big lake. And we ride down. John tells me, oh, this is Lake Superior. So when in Rome, hold her pin.
I've never ridden on Lake Superior before, but he thought it'd be cool. There's some neat rock features that you ride alongside the lake, and there was a spot we were gonna stop for some food right off Lake Superior. So he took us on a bit of a detour, but we got to ride full throttle down Lake Superior and check out all this cool scenery, and it was definitely worth it.
So what do you think of that ride there on the lake?
I'm having a blast. These trails up here have definitely been the best ones I've ever ridden on, honestly.
There's a couple interesting aspects to this trip that need to be understood before you try and duplicate what we did. You have to plan your trip accordingly, and if you don't have a fiver on the back of your sled, you're not going to make it the next leg of the trip to the next gas stop, which is at, I would say within the snowmobile industry, a world famous landmark spot called Halfway Haven, and that is really only gas stop to get you all the way to Wawa.
The trails up north are incredible. The best trails I've ever ridden on in my life, hands down. Really, really wide and great elevation changes that are a lot of fun, and you get tons of great scenic views.
They wind sort of through the hydro line or out into the hydro line, the open area, for some fast, straighter sections, and then they cut straight over into the trees for like a tight tree section again. And
virtually follows the hydro line all the way, but you're kind of darting into the trees for a little section and then back out into the power lines. So you're getting a mix of two great different trails essentially, where you can put on a lot of miles and not get bored.
And you can put on 100 kilometers and not even realize you did it. By the time it's done, you've been having so much fun and the trails have been so interesting that you're like, wow, we're already here at Halfway Haven. How did we get here so soon?
How you guys doing?
We're doing great now that we're here. What'd you say it was from the Sault to here?
90 from Search Mount.
90 miles from Search Mount. So how far from the Sault then?
It's another
If you went the
35
fastest
miles
way.
probably.
So you're like 200 from the Sault.
Yeah. From the Sault, you couldn't make it.
10,000 liters, just to give you an idea of how much traffic this place gets.
So that's
Once a week. That's once a week.
Seriously, once a week you
Yeah,
deliver?
yeah.
They have food, you can stay there if you need to. You use that fuel to power generators and stuff, or are yours all diesel?
Diesel. All
Okay.
diesel.
You got more tanks for diesel here as well.
Yeah, they're out back. That's 2,000 gallons there.
And we fill the groomers here, obviously.
Oh, right,
for-
yeah, okay,
For a
that makes
return
sense.
trip.
Yeah.
Our groomer takes 300 liters to get here.
Right.
Yeah, so it gets a little expensive.
Someday you're gonna have to put in like an autopilot in those groomers so you can just watch movies while it drives itself. Right?
Why can't we do it like a drone?
It also services 3 separate trails for groomers because it can take up to 13 hours to groom from a destination to Halfway Haven. The groomer operators will groom up, stay overnight, fill up with diesel, and then drive home. So Halfway Haven isn't just a cool spot. It's an absolute necessity if you want to do that ride. You have to have this in operation, and it's been in operation for, decades. Our morning had included a lot of miles, so by the time we reached Halfway Haven, we were really looking forward to just taking the helmets off, putting our feet up, and having a little bit of a break and maybe something to eat. Tune in next week as we continue to explore Halfway Haven and finish the second half of our ride in Northern Ontario's Algoma district, from Sault Ste. Marie all the way to Wawa on to Dubreuilville.
If you like what you've just seen, click the subscribe button and comment below. And make sure you check out all of our great videos on SnowTrax TV's YouTube channel.